Is there a heaven or the afterlife is trash too? This is one of the most important questions that we need to ask ourselves as sentient beings. Since we are the ones that are experiencing reality, and since we found ourselves in a world full of suffering, in a world where everything is absurd, in a world where we don't have answers, in a world where everyone is confused, it's important to ask ourselves if there is a heaven, if there is a place that is better than this. By heaven, I mean a place that is better than this, like much better than this. I'm not talking about the biblical vision of heaven. I mean, that doesn't exist. I'm sure that if you're watching my videos, you know that. So I'm talking about like a place that is better. Like after all the suffering, there's a place that we go to that is actually going to make sense to all of us. We'll be like, okay, now I get it. Now I get why I had to go through what I went through. Now I understand why I had to deal with cancer. Why does cancer even exist? Yeah, now I know why I had to deal with cancer. Now I know why I had to get infected with HIV before they found I don't even know what they call it. Is it a cure? Whatever they want to call it, really. But they should have found a cure by now. So, something is obviously wrong. But yeah, why did I have to go through that? Why did I lose my father when I was 5? Why did my mother die when she was giving birth to me? I mean, that's another level of trauma, bro. Can you imagine that? As you get older, they tell you that no, actually, your mother died when she was giving birth to you. Can you imagine? You look at your siblings and you feel guilty, like it's you. You look at your dad, like you know what I'm saying? Some of the things that we experience in this realm are too damn brutal to make sense, to be justified. You know what I'm saying? But that happens. It happens to many people, right? Is there a place that is better than this? When you find yourself in that place, you look at your experience on earth and be like, you know what, man, I might have suffered, but it was worth it. Is the afterlife better or heaven is trash too? Yeah, that should be the title of the video. One thing that I've learned about hierarchy is that the ones who truly have power are the ones who are at the top. Benedictine ain't gonna change shit in this world, in his country, in his province, in his town. He had no power. He can complain every day. He can actually come up with the right answers every day, but he ain't gonna change shit because he doesn't have power. The ones who can change things are the ones who have power. Sometimes it doesn't even matter what you say. Social media has proved to us that it's not about what you say, it's about who says it. If the person who says something is loved by people, they're gonna like the comment, right? People will like your comments just because they like you. If they don't like you, even if you say things that make a lot of sense, they ain't gonna agree with you because they don't like you. So why should they like your post? Why should they like what you say? So we know that if you don't have power in this room, you can't change anything. It's the ones who are at the top who can change things. It's the president of our country that can change things. It's the politicians that can change things. It's the ministers that can change things. Is the afterlife better? If there's corruption in this realm, talking about a room where we really don't have power. The only power that we have is the power to detach, not to change things. Corruption starts at the top. And it goes all the way to the bottom. It doesn't start at the bottom and goes all the way to the top. It starts at the top and goes all the way to the bottom. Because the people at the bottom don't have power. So they can't start corruption, and now people who are at the top are like, oh, let's be corrupt too. You know what I'm saying? Is the people who are at the top are like, let's be corrupt. And then the people who are below those who are at the top, you know, they become corrupt too. The ones who are below them become corrupt, and you know, it goes all the way to the bottom. The reason why this realm is the way that it is because something is wrong at the top. I hate it when people blame other people for this world being trash. Like, yeah, it's not God's fault, you know, it's, what the hell? Do you think we got power, bro? People are just trying to survive, trying to make the best of what they have. People are homeless out there. They're trying to make the best of, you know what I'm saying? People don't got money. People are suffering. People are depressed. You know, they don't got power. So really, those who are at the top should have been the ones to change things for us. If they don't, then it means they are corrupt too. And they are worse than we are. Because we are in a situation where it benefits us more to not be good. They have a choice. They could decide to be good and still benefit because they already got enough. But they can decide that, you know what, we don't want this to be good. We don't want all of reality to be good. In fact, we want all of reality to be horrible. We want all these sentient beings to live in fear. We want all these sentient beings to tear each other apart. They're the ones that decide. We don't decide. We're in the game. They're the ones who design the game. Is the afterlife better or it's trash? My answer is the afterlife is trash. I don't think the afterlife is going to be better. I think when you wake up, you find yourself in a world where there is corruption, in a world where there is manipulation. You're going to be manipulated. In a world where there is hierarchy and all the nonsense. That is why I tell y'all that you train yourself from here. You train yourself to be as strong as possible no matter what, to choose truth no matter what, to make truth your highest value, to detach yourself from the nonsense. You teach yourself here. This is actually the best place to teach yourself that. Because you don't really understand much. So if really you can master detaching yourself from a lot of nonsense, you should be able to detach yourself from a lot of nonsense in other realms. Yes, in other realms, the manipulation is going to be on another level because you'll be more conscious. But if you are learning to detach yourself, that will be better. I don't think that the place that we go to after this is going to be better. You know, when I think about the things that we go through here, I don't think it makes sense to think that the afterlife is going to be better. This can't be justified. This is a crime against sentient beings, you know. Whether you're a human, a monkey, a cat, a crocodile, a fly, whatever you are, this is not good. This isn't something that we can justify. Life is a crime against all of us, because all the horrible things happen because we're here. All the things that we put people in prison for happen because we're here, and we never have been able to change things. It's not like at some point in our lives we were able to get rid of crime. Like at some point in our lives we're able to get rid of rape. Nobody gets raped. We're able to get rid of murder. Nobody gets murdered. We're able to get rid of slavery. Nobody is a slave. We're able to get rid of poverty. No one is living in poverty. No, all these things that will lock people up for have always existed. There's never been a point in history where these things didn't exist. So if reality is like this, obviously whatever created this is evil. It doesn't have our best interest at heart. So if we find ourselves in a realm that where it is, it's actually not going to be a good realm. It will be we will still face the same challenges that we're facing. There will be manipulation, there will be corruption, there will be hierarchies, there will be suffering. The same way that in your dreams there's still suffering. It's not like in your dream you're free. I mean, you're supposed to be the only one in your dreams, but even in your dreams you still find yourself suffering. Why? The answer is simple. It's because corruption starts at the top. Whatever is at the top is corrupt. That is why this whole thing exists. That is why the Gnostics say Sophia gave birth to the demiurge, and the demiurge is a false god that was born of sin. It's a false god that is ignorant, and it was born of sin, so it created this messed up reality. The Gnostic knew that whatever is behind us is corrupt. That's what is corruption. If you watch documentaries about kids that ended up doing like really horrible things, the parents will say, you know, our kid used to draw people getting killed, a person lying on the floor surrounded by blood, animals getting killed, and all of that. It was not a beautiful mind. A beautiful mind would want to draw something beautiful. A beautiful mind will want to draw people who are happy, who are celebrating. Kids that are playing in the street, having fun, connecting with one another. So whatever had the power to create this was sick. This is a result of something sick. That is why things are the way that they are. Yesterday I was watching videos on YouTube. I don't remember from which channel. Maybe it's National Geographic. I'm not really sure. But the video was about animals' deadliest fight. And I was like, okay, I gotta watch this. uh, when I was watching the fights, I was like, there are a lot of horrible things that are happening in this world that we don't even think about. How often do we even think about the suffering of animals? We don't even think about how much animals are suffering. An animal could be drinking water and it gets attacked by alcohol. I mean, by a crocodile. How? It's funny. That is funny. So you could find a buffalo drinking water where there's crocodiles, and it knows that there's crocodiles, but it's thirsty. So the crocodile approached it, and boom. It's just trying to drink water in peace. But the crocodile wants to eat. It sees food. It's like, oh shit, there's food there. Do you understand how horrible that is? It's not like these animals are not sentient. It's not like these animals want to be attacked. They be trying their best to not get attacked, but they get thirsty. But where there's water, there's a trap. And you want to tell me this was created by a beautiful mind? Obviously, whatever created this is evil. Whatever created this doesn't have our best interest at heart. Whatever created this is selfish. So there's no way we can expect heaven to be better. There's no way we can expect the afterlife to be better. Unless we find ourselves in a reality that is not controlled by whatever entity is controlling things here. Whatever entity is running shit here. If we find ourselves outside of its radar, we're good. A lot of horrible things are happening that we don't even think about. We only think about our own lives. Even when we hear that something happened to other people, we don't even think much of it. We only take things seriously that we are experiencing. If I'm sick and I'm in a hospital, yeah, that's when I see how bad it is. I remember when I used to visit my dad at a hospital. And I would see a lot of people who are sick. And I'd be like, damn, man. And I'll talk to him. I'll record videos actually, because where I was visiting him is actually far from where I live. Like I had to go there in the morning, so I would see him because they will tell you that okay, you can see him from 10 until 11. So I'll see him from 10 until 11, and they'll say yeah, you can come back after 3. So I'll be like okay, fine. Let me record videos. So I'll record videos in the town where there was that hospital. It was a private hospital because public hospitals in South Africa are trash. So I would when I'm be making videos, I'll be thinking a lot about what he's going through and what other people are going through in that hospital. Sometimes we don't think about what people who are in hospitals are going through. There are people who are really sick. There are people who have lost their minds. They're crazy. They're hearing themselves. They don't understand what's real and what's not real. You know what I'm saying? Some people have lost their limbs because they've got involved in an accident. Some people just got shot. They have to undergo some crazy operation and all of that. You know what I'm saying? We are only looking at what we're going through in our own lives. And we don't actually realize how horrible this place is. You know, I've only slept in hospital when I was young, and I can say that I'm lucky to have never had to go back. You know, when I was young, I broke my leg and I had to sleep in a hospital for a week. It took me 3 months to recover to be able to walk again. It was a serious injury. I'm glad that I never went through that again. I did mess up my legs a couple of times after that, but it wasn't the same. You know, it would take me like a week, 3 days sometimes to recover, a week to recover, a week and a half to recover. I used to injure myself a lot when I was young. Sometimes we don't realize how bad things are in this realm. Remember, we are in a realm where things are presented in a way that makes them look better than they are. You see, we are not in a world that is good, but that seems bad. We are in a world that is bad, but that seems good. Meaning that the people that you meet and you interact with, they're actually doing worse than you think. We have been programmed to make ourselves look better than we are, right? Especially to strangers, especially to people in the streets, people that don't really know us. A person who's depressed is not going to walk in the street screaming, I'm depressed. No, they're going to put on a fake smile. If you ask them how they're doing, they're going to say they're doing well. You see, we are supposed to make life seems better than it is. So it makes sense to assume that things are more horrible than we think. People are doing better than they seem. I remember when Remy cheated on Papoose. So she cheated on Papoose with I think she has a battle rap league. So there's a guy who battles at a league, and yeah, she hooked up with that guy. She was hooking up with him constantly, and people told Papoose like, "Oh man, she's," and he found out. Like, okay, he didn't want to believe them at first, but then he was able to see it himself. They went to therapy. He thought she was gonna change. Big mistake. She didn't. Of course, she wasn't. Papoose he's a nice guy. He's dating this girl now. She's a boxer, very famous female boxer. I forgot her name, but she's good. She's really good. When she talks about him, you can tell he's a nice guy. Like when she's going out to train, he will put things in a bag. You know what I'm saying? Like he will be like a lady to her. So he's nice, and she she likes that. I don't know if it's only nice to her because she's got money, but whatever. Um, yeah. So Remy was taking advantage of that, but the way that we saw them, or the way that they presented themselves in public, you would think that they are doing well. You know, I remember when they did I think it was 2016 BET Cipher, the rap together, exchanging bars, and you could tell like the chemistry was there. But after they broke up, after the whole world knew that Remy cheated on Papoose because there was nothing else that he could do. I mean, you can't go back to your woman if the whole world knows that she cheated on you. You know what I'm saying? You'll be like, no, 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 no. You know what I'm saying? Because men want to be respected by other people, because nobody's gonna respect you. Like, you went back to her after she did all of that. she will go online and talk shit about him. It took time for him to respond. And he ended up responding, talking about she used to cheat on him. It's not like that was the first time, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, it seemed like things were fine, right, in their relationships. You would swear things were fine. But that's life. People are trying to make their situations look better than they are. Until it no longer serves them. You know, Papoose, because she was talking shit about him, he had to go online and say, you know what, man, she's not who you think she is. Because he doesn't want to look like a bad person, you know? He's a rapper. He wants, he makes money when people think it's good. You know what I'm saying? He ain't getting sponsors if people think, if everyone hates him. So he doesn't want to be hated. So he had to tell the world the truth. That, you know what, man, in this relationship I was actually suffering because Remo was, messing around. It's not like it was a first time doing that. We even went to therapy because I was willing to forgive her, but she still went back to the dude. I remember I say that after they went to therapy, like maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks after they went to therapy, he woke up in the middle of the night. I think they drank. When he woke up in the middle of the night, he found her phone. It was she was talking to the dude while he was sleeping. So the guy dropped the call, but the phone was still on, the screen was still on. So you could see that she was talking to the dude. And that's when he was like, nah, man, she's impossible. You know what I'm saying? But the world is not what it seems, A lot of people that you think are doing well ain't even doing well. Like, things are horrible in this room. Some people are just better at hiding their scars. We wear makeup. Why? I mean, not, but women wear makeup. We're trying to cover the things that we don't want people to see. If you felt like there was something that you didn't want people to see on your face and you could maybe put something on so that they don't see it, you would. We don't want people to see how bad things are in our lives. That is why when we're going through hell and we talk to someone, we're like, don't tell anyone. I don't even know why I would tell someone what we're going through if we don't want them to tell anyone. I mean, people talk, bro. I don't know a person who doesn't talk. People talk. I'm the only one who doesn't. But I don't know anyone else who doesn't talk. You can tell me your secrets and I'll be fine. I'm just that guy, you know what I'm saying? But a lot, like the people that I know, you can't tell them your secrets and don't tell anyone else. They are telling everyone, bro. I remember when I stopped trusting my friends, something happened to me in 2012 that I didn't want a lot of people to know, but it was funny. It was funny. It was something messed up, but it was funny. So I told my friend about it. My friend at the time was like, yeah, man, this happened to me. And we laughed about it because it was funny, right? I wanted someone to laugh with about it. And I was like, yo, make sure you don't tell anyone. Same day, this nigga comes with his friend, right? And they're laughing. I'm like, dude, you told him? From that day, I was like, yo, man, I ain't telling nobody anything that I don't want anyone to know. If I tell someone something, it's something that I don't care if other people know. You know what I'm saying? Because people can't keep secrets. But yeah, the truth is, man, people ain't doing well in this realm. But they are pretending as if they're doing well, because what can they do? So if this is bad, you can expect the afterlife to be bad. I'm not going to say you should expect it to be worse, but expect it to be bad. It's probably worse. But now, man, corruption starts at the top. The ones who had the power to create this are corrupt. That is why there's corruption. Corruption wouldn't exist. What exists are the things that they think, things that they know, things that they desire. It's things that they're able to imagine. Things that dominate their minds. So to think that this is good is crazy, but what's worse is thinking that afterlife is going to be better. What I would tell you is that expect the worst, so prepare yourself for the worst. That is why I keep on telling you that learn to detach yourself from a lot of things that are affecting you in a negative way in this realm. If something is affecting you in a negative way, chances are that is being used to get energy from you. The people in your life who are always making you feel bad, who are saying things that make you feel bad all the damn time, they were sent by whatever, created this to come and mess with your mind so that you produce the loose that they want, because the whole thing seems to be about suffering. Because all of us are suffering. The animals be suffering, insects be suffering, we are suffering. You know what I'm saying? It's the world of suffering. It's something that you can guarantee. You can't guarantee happiness, but you can guarantee suffering. For every sentient being being born, you can guarantee suffering, but you can't guarantee happiness. Suffering is the only thing that you can guarantee. How sad is that? Suffering exists because it exists on higher realms too. It didn't start here. It started at the top. I'm not telling you this so that you'll be like, oh, there's no hope. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you this so that you will be more serious about fighting for your freedom. Like, you mustn't be thinking that things are gonna be good, when I die and all of that, because that's what people be telling themselves. No, realize that a lot of work you need to do it while you're still here. I don't want to be telling people that there is no afterlife and all of that so that they'll feel good. I think there is an afterlife. I don't think it ends here at all. I've done a lot of work trying to understand what reality is, and I can tell you, I don't have any doubt in my mind that it doesn't end here. I don't like being too convinced, but it's hard for me to think it ends here. It's hard. There was a time when I'd be like, yeah, it probably does end here, but after all the work I've done, I can tell you it doesn't. It doesn't end here. So really, learn to be indifferent to the things that be happening. If you can master that, bro, if you can master that, you're good. If you can master not caring, I'm not talking about faking not caring. All right, no, this ain't gonna work. I'm talking about you not caring. Things happening and you're like, whatever, man. It's a hell realm. I'm small here, bro. What was I supposed to do? Why should I even stress? I didn't have that much power. Because the real problem is that you care. Still haven't realized that by now. The real problem is that you care. Think about things that other people that you care about that other people don't care about. I don't care about soccer. I've been in many places where they're watching soccer and if their favorite team loses, they'll be mad as hell. But I don't care. It's just people kicking a ball, it doesn't matter to me, right? I'm not affected by things that don't matter to me. I'm not affected by things that I don't take seriously, but I'm affected by things that I take seriously. So the question is, how do I not take anything seriously? And if I can master not taking anything seriously, I'm good. Because no matter where I find myself, I'm good. I'll just be watching this nonsense and be like, it is what it is. Whatever nonsense I'm going to have to deal with in the afterlife, be like, yeah, it is what it is. I ain't creating this. At the end of the day, you find that you don't care what anyone thinks, right? Because another prison that we've built for ourselves is what other people think about us. We care. What do you think of me? We want approval. You think I'm crazy? Shit, I must try to act different now because you think I'm crazy. You think I'm stupid? Okay, it means I must act different now because you think I'm stupid. You think I'm ugly? Shit, no one's gonna love me because I'm ugly. And they're gonna have bad opinions about me. You think I'm a failure? You know what I'm saying? Like, we want people to think positive things about us. But it's another trap. You must reach a level of consciousness where you don't give a shit what people think of you, bro. You're like, I'm just gonna live my life. You think what you think, because at the end of the day, none of it matters, So it's just thoughts. They just think what they think. You just set yourself free from whatever they think. You'll be like, think what you think of me. You need to conquer hell while you're still here. Because you don't really know how it's going to be. But if you don't conquer hell, can you imagine if you're playing a video game, you're on level 1, you lose, and they say you have to be on level 2. You already lost on level 1. Obviously, on level 2, it's going to be worse. You know what I'm saying? Realize that none of this matters, because nothing can matter. Like, when you think about it deeply enough, you realize that nothing really matters. Nothing. We're the ones that are giving names, labels to anything, meaning to anything. You know what I'm saying? We're the one who says what matters and what doesn't. The truth is, nothing matters. That is the real truth. The real truth is nothing means anything. The whole thing is meaningless. It's just that you've allowed society to tell you what's important and what isn't. So you chose to believe that what's important is what society says is important. That's why it matters what other people think of you. Yeah, people think this and that. Reach a level of consciousness where none of that matters. People talk all they want and it doesn't even affect you. You're a god. Can you imagine reaching that level of consciousness? That's it. You've won. How are they going to get you if you reach that level of consciousness where you don't care what anyone thinks? How? Because what's being used here is other people. Hell is other people. If you're all alone here, you probably wouldn't feel that bad about this place. You know what I'm saying? Hell is other people. And people suck in this place, bro. People have showed you hell. So really, you need to work on what's going on internally. Because heaven is trash too. Mustn't be like, you know what, I know this place is bad, it sucks. It's only because it's controlled by the devil. When I die, I'm going to go to a better place. No. Conquer this thing while you're still here. So that no matter where you find yourself, you're good. You have to be able to matter your own ego. Because it's your ego that wants validation, that wants other people to think that you is doing well. I like people who are intellectually honest. I remember watching this video from X, just expressing himself. X extension. I don't mean DMX. I mean X extension. And I was like, I like that. I like the fact that he's talking about he's being vulnerable. He's talking about his insecurities. He's he's not trying to seem stronger than he is. You being able to be you, being like, this is who I am. Not be afraid of whatever people are going to say. That is beautiful, because that shows that you are killing your ego. You're not always going to be like, yeah, I'm good, you know what I'm saying? I'm good all the time. I'm happy all the time. Things are working out in my life. Like, no, man. Being able to be vulnerable. Being able to say, yo, I wish for this to happen and it didn't. Being able to say, yo, man, last month, I even thought of ending things. You being able to say that, and not even feel guilty, no matter what people think. You being able to say, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I don't know if the future is bright. Like, that level of vulnerability is beautiful. The problem is we have a lot of pride. The problem is the ego. And you must ask yourself, what is ego? Why are you trying to protect your ego? You didn't create any of this. You didn't choose what to experience. What you can choose is to be strong. What you can choose is to be detached. You're like, yeah, this is me, bro. Life is whooping my ass. Laugh if you want to laugh. If that makes you happy because you're my hater, then let it make you happy. I don't give a shit. Why should I? Because I know there are people who've created a trap for themselves. They don't want to make their enemies happy. But like, I'm not gonna make this decision because I'm not gonna take this decision because it's gonna make my enemies happy. It's another prison. You hate your enemies so much that you would rather suffer for them to suffer. He like, we gonna suffer, both of us. Like, no, bro. I'm gonna be happy. You're gonna be happy. If you seeing me experiencing something is making you happy, then good. Be happy as long as I'm happy. Like, what matters is me. So it's important to matter your ego. Understand that it has limited you in so many ways and it has imprisoned you. You really have nothing to lose. I don't think people understand how liberating that is. You don't actually have anything to lose in this room. Whatever you think you are is not even you. Whatever you think you have, you don't even have it. Do you get what I'm saying? Whatever dignity you think you have, you don't have it. Whatever pride you think you have, you don't have it. Do you get what I'm saying? You don't own this. You're not in control of this. So really, you gotta set yourself free by not caring. By choosing love over fear. I've been telling you that since the beginning of this year. Choose love over fear. Choose to do what you want than to do what you don't want because you're afraid. That is what's making things worse. You being in a situation where you can do what you want to do, but you're afraid to do it. And you be like, I'm not going to do it because I'm afraid. Why not do it even if you're afraid? I've programmed myself to feel good if I do something that I want to do and things don't go well. But but that's what I wanted to do. Things didn't go as planned, but that's exactly what I wanted to do. It's not like I was being afraid when I did it. No, it's really what I wanted to do. So yes, things might not have uh, worked out the way that I anticipated, but still, I did what I wanted to do. So I should be proud of myself. It shouldn't like you should reach a point where you don't care that much about results. You care much about your soul. You care much about how strong you are, how strong your soul is. You're like, I did what I wanted to do. I did what I was scared of doing, but it's still what I wanted to do. Yes, I wasn't successful, but it's still what I wanted to do. Even if in my life I've always had bad experiences doing what I wanted to do, I'm still gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm gonna live my life. I'll be doing what I wanna do, even if I expect negative results, even if I expect to be embarrassed. You just keep on doing what you wanna do. Because why not? Why be afraid? Because life is already kicking your ass. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you really have nothing to lose at this point. In fact, you've never really had anything to lose. But at this point, you don't even have any reason to even think that you have anything to lose. At this point, nothing can be lost. Like, don't let the hell rim trick you into feeling like you own the things that are here. It will be like if you were in a dream and you thought you owned the things that you have in your dream. Your job is to be as detached as possible. When you are, I'm sure most of us have been in bad relationship. When you're in a bad relationship, you know that the most important thing that you must do is to detach yourself. And you feel very strong when you successfully detach yourself. I believe that most of us have been in relationships where it was difficult, like very difficult for us to detach ourselves. You're like, what can I do to be detached from this person? No matter what you do, you're thinking about that person. They're not even special, but you find yourself thinking about them. When you sleep, you dream about them. You wake up, the first thing you think about is them. Before you fell asleep, you were thinking about them. During the day, you're thinking about it. You don't know what to do. Like, you try to distract yourself, but that's all you think about. A week goes by without contact. Sometimes you do think about other things. Oh, actually, after a week, it's going to be much worse, actually, because you're going to have to deal with the fact that you might never, ever talk to them again, because that's, you're going to realize that that's possible. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be worse. After 2 weeks, it's going to be worse. After 3 weeks, it's going to be bad, but you might start to accept that you may never, ever talk to them again. And that stage is long, you know what I'm saying? After a couple of months, you'll be able to put on a smile sometimes, you know what I'm saying? I remember when I was going through a breakup, I used to be very, like, I used to have pride. Like, I wasn't able to be vulnerable, but in 2018, I went through a breakup that made me want to talk about it, even though I had a lot of pride. Like, I will not tell my mom if I'm going through something. But she noticed that I didn't switch off my lights. Like, I had not switched off my lights in like a month. Like, are you sleeping? Because I know that when you sleep, you switch off your lights. But when I wake up and go to the toilet, I see your lights open. What's going on, dude? Are you okay? And one day I just told her, I was like, yo, I'm going through a breakup. I'm really not okay. I don't know if I'm going to survive this. So after a couple of months, I told her that I want to talk to the girl, you know. She gave me the best advice ever. She was like, don't talk to her. Don't not talk to her. But my bitch ass didn't listen. So I called her. But no, the reason why I called her is because I kept on having this dream where she was telling me something. Oh no, she was not telling me something. She was asking me a question. So that dream, I kept on having it. She kept on asking me that question. Like I might have had that dream like more than 20 times. I was like, damn man, I'm having this dream more than 20 times, and it's been like maybe 40 days, and I've had this same dream. I was like, no, I gotta call her and ask her, because she's asked me that question in real life. So I just kept on dreaming about it, but she also asked me the question in real life and I didn't answer it. So I called her. You know what he said? Hey, girls can be mean, bro. Like I didn't call her to get her bag or anything like that. I called her to ask her what she meant by that question. She's like, by the way, I'm in a relationship now. Like, I didn't want to know that. She's like, yeah, by the way, I'm in a relationship and I had enough time to compare. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like this guy is great. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I was just addicted to you. You're not great at all. I was like, wow. I mean, that's not how she put it, but that's what it meant. But I ended up asking her. Like, I acted strong. I wasn't like, I was so broken, because there was a part of me that wished that she could change her mind, you know? Because we were dated for like 2 years. We broke up on an anniversary. Like, that was the worst breakup that I've ever experienced. But she didn't change her mind at all. She, like, you could see that she would never change her mind. Like, I could beg her all I wanted, she would never change her mind. Yeah, at the time, I was not a simp, not even close, but I was hurt. You know, like, you know, when someone that you loved, that you believe was going to love you forever, because she loved me, you know. I knew that she loved me. Even now, I genuinely believe from the bottom of my heart that she really loved me. So it was one of those relationships that you knew were real. You know, when the connection is real, when a person is not asking anything from you, they just want you, you know. Someone who's always available for you, no excuses. She's there. When you have a problem, she's there. She helps you in every way, financially, or like she helps you in every way. You know, that kind of a woman. I had my flaws. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, I knew it was over for real. But I asked her that question, and she gave me the answer. And after she gave me the answer, I forgot what the question was. Literally forgot. And even now, I don't remember what the question was. I remember the day after our call ended, because she was going somewhere. I still wanted to talk to her, but she was like, I'm going somewhere. So I was like, damn, man, this is horrible, you know? Because this is a person that always wanted to talk to me. I'm talking about a person who will, like, if you don't want to talk to her, she will force you to talk to her, you know what I'm saying? You'd be like, I'm doing this and that. Like, please talk to me. I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna call you later, and then I'll call you later. That kind of a person. But the love was over. The feelings gone. That day, it's called her around like from 11 until, we spoke for like 2 hours. I remember, because I used to take long walks. It was back in 2018. Like philosophizing. I remember even feeling like I was gonna end things, bro. It was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like make it. I don't know why. I don't know why we get to feel like that as humans. You might say, "Oh, you were weak" and all of that, but I don't even think it's being weak. You know, I think maybe we desire connection, and there's a reason why we desire connection. You know, I felt like that relationship was real, and I thought it was gonna last forever. I remember going back home and telling my mom, I was like, I called her. She was like, what? And I told her everything. She was like, yeah, I told you not to call her. But I was like, you know what, mom? Now that's gonna help me. Like, that's gonna make it easier for me to accept. Because I was still in the stage of acceptance. So now that she's moved on and I know that there's no chance that I can get it back, then that's gonna make it easier. And it did. It actually did. It was the 7th of July. I still remember because that same night, Daniel Cormier fought Stipe Miocic. Big fan of UFC. I know you know that. So the next morning, I was a big fan of DC at the time. I was a big fan of Daniel Cormier. So after he won, I was happy and I like his. He was supposed to fight Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar used to fight in the UFC. So I just liked the post-fight interview and all. You know, I liked everything about that fight really. So yeah, that's how I remember, and it kind of helped me, you know, because I used to watch that fight a lot. And I started to heal. I was thin at the time. I remember I told my sister to record me freestyling. When I watched that video, I almost cried. Like when I watched that video years later, I was like, what the hell? Like I was thin, bro. Like thin. Like I was weighing like 55 kg. You understand? Like I was thin, bro. It was unbelievable. People thought I was sick, you know. But yeah, it's important to learn how to detach yourself. Like that's the relationship that taught me how to detach myself. That's the relationship that taught me that you can heal. Because the thing is, you could, like, if you're going through that kind of breakup, you think you'll never heal. You could think that you could never detach yourself, but you can. It might take time. It did take time for me, but I remember after I've healed, and I didn't heal because I was in another relationship, I just healed. I'll think of her and be like, I'm good. Now I can call her. I still have her numbers on my phone. In fact, we have communicated like 2 years back. And what's messed up, when we communicated, she had a daughter. When we communicated, and she posted her daughter on her status, and I asked about her daughter. 2 days later, her daughter died, which is weird. And she called me and we spoke about it. And one of the reasons why I don't even want to talk to her is because I'm like, why did that happen? What if now she thinks that, you know, I bring bad luck into her life? Because what the hell did that happen? Why did it happen, like, after I asked her about her daughter? You know? But we can talk, but there will never be that kind of, like, she could say whatever. She could say, you are not a real man, you are weak, I didn't love you, or whatever, but it's not going to affect me in any way. Why? Because I've been able to conquer that completely. So that shows you that it's possible to conquer anything. You can literally detach yourself. So you practice detachment while you're still here. And one of the best ways to be detached to things is to make sure you don't get to them attached. Know that everything that belongs to this realm, you can lose it. Everything. So don't get too attached to something. Be attached enough to be able to pull back when you lose whatever you're attached to. You know? Because there's fun that comes with being attached, but know that you can still lose it. So you should be able to, like, it must not get to a point where you feel the way that I felt. Because that's the worst pain that I felt in my life. I lost my dad last year, and I can tell you I was in pain, but it's not the same kind of pain. You know, I love my dad. He's someone that I knew my whole life, but it was not the same kind of pain. I do believe that I lose anyone in my life. Like, anyone can die in my life. I could never feel that pain. I don't believe I can feel that kind of pain again. That was literally the worst pain that I felt in my life. I don't know why. I don't know how to explain it, but that was really the worst pain that I felt in my life. So you mustn't be too attached that you can't detach yourself, or it feels impossible for you to detach yourself, because there's a trap. The truth is, we are not in a good place. And wherever we go, it ain't gonna be a good place. And it's not about what you believe. People be like, oh, it's about what you believe. I'm like, some of you are just ignorant, bro. Some of y'all can be in a bad relationship telling yourself that you're in a good relationship. Like, nah, man. Because here's the thing, even if you tell yourself that you're in a good relationship, even if you're in a bad relationship, the truth will still prevail. So if you were lying to yourself, the truth is going to hurt you. If you were telling yourself the truth is going to free you, right? The truth is going to set you free. The truth will set free those who were seeking it, not those who were lying to themselves. If you ain't seeking for the truth ain't setting you, you're free, right? Truth is going to torture you to death. If it doesn't torture you to death and you survive, it will have tortured you a lot. So really, you need to figure out what the truth is. But to figure out what the truth is, you must be seeking it. So when you figure out what the truth is, you will be strong enough to handle it. Do not be afraid of the truth, because it is really the only thing that can set you free. I don't believe that there's anything that's going to set you free other than the truth. So keep your eyes open, keep on evolving, keep on reaching higher levels of consciousness. Let's do that together. Thank you guys for supporting this channel. Thank you guys for liking my videos. It helps a lot, because a lot of people are able to find my videos, and I know that there's something that I'm still doing here, you know what I'm saying? So it helps, you know. Thanks for the comments, thanks for subscribing to the channel. 13,000 subscribers, that is something, you know what I'm saying? So I appreciate everything. Thank you all guys. Let's keep on growing, let's keep on reaching high levels of consciousness together. Let's keep on connecting. If you want to talk to me, send me an email, join the Discord server, we can talk. I haven't spoken a lot about that recently. Yeah, there's a Discord server, I must post the link. Yeah, let's keep on evolving, let's keep on growing. Thank you all guys.